Hello. Hello, hello. Let's see what's going on. Linda's watching. Hi, Linda. All right. So, I put a poll up in the group earlier today, and the poll was regarding which stamp set to color. And overwhelmingly, you guys chose to color the Oak Fairy. So I have the Oak Fairy here. She's part of the new release. And this says, Autumn shows us how beautiful it is to let things go. And then it says, oh my gourd, it's fall. And another really cute drawing from Christy Dahlman. And she does have dies as well, so you can purchase the dies too. And so I have stamped her here on Sweet Sentiment coloring paper, so you can see the shimmer of the paper. Super cool. And oh yeah, I stamped her in Memento Rich Cocoa, because I wanted to do like a dark brown line instead of a black line. So she's in Memento Rich Cocoa. I see people are here. Say hello so I can see who's on. And we're going to get started coloring her. So today I feel like I want to color her with a darker skin tone, with that rich cocoa base as the stamped line. I feel like I want to have a really cool, dark, pretty skin tone. So I don't want you to be shy about choosing colors for your skin tones. 13, 11, 21, and 00. Okay. So I have chosen, hi, Mama Sherry. So I have chosen E47, E25, E13, E11, and E21. I also like to use my E00 when I am starting a dark skin tone to color, well, hi, Linda, to put a base down on the paper. It makes it so I'm a little less afraid of coloring the skin tone. Let me zoom in for you guys here. Okay. Well, hi, my bestie. So I'm starting with E00, and I'm going to color in her ears. And one lucky person who watches live today is going to win this card or project or whatever I make this into. Whatever this ends up being, we'll see where the live takes us today. So if you are watching live at any point, I want you to hashtag did someone say prizes? Hashtag did someone say prizes? And that's how I know to enter you. Thanks, Melissa. I have Jack and Sally, and I have Zero and Oogie Boogie. So now I have E47, And this is a fairly dark color. It's going to be just probably a half shade darker than what I stamped the lines in. And notice I always rotate my paper. I say this every live. You want your wrist to be in a comfortable position when you're coloring. I'm going to go down her chin line. And, right, hashtag did someone say prizes? Yeah, I'm just starting, Sandy. Inside her ears. I love her super pointy elf ears. They just make me happy. With Melissa being here, I can tell you that Melissa and I are very long time Christy Dahlman fans. We've been running in the same circles for years, following Christy's artwork. So I just adore that Christy draws for Sweet Sentiment. Okay, and then the point of coloring no lines too, tiny strokes, that's right, is that you don't trace every single line. You don't outline every single line. I'm just putting shadows in where I think there would be shadows. So opposite of where the sun is shining or where her body would be shadowing, casting a shadow onto her skin, or her clothing casting a shadow under her skin. So I'm not doing a ton of shadowing here. And yes, I do tiny, tiny brush strokes. I'm also going to go around her eyes. And she's going to look super funny for a minute because she has these super dark eyes. But it's okay. Okay. What are you all up to? I know all of our Canadian friends are having Thanksgiving today. Well, this week. I've seen a couple of Thanksgiving feasts being posted. So that's fun. Anybody else up to anything? What are you guys working on? Why are we laughing? What are we laughing at? If you guys are personal friends of mine, Deanna, hi! Oh my gosh, I miss you, girl. I just posted on my timeline like a funny thing that says, it's about you fell asleep wearing a t-shirt of a band and then you woke up and you like use the title of their song. So somebody's like, I fell asleep wearing my Jimmy Buffett t-shirt and I woke up in Margaritaville. And some of them are seriously cracking me up. So, right? We love Christy. Christy's so cool. Don't forget, you guys, if you want to be entered to win whatever project it is we're making here today with this oak fairy, please hashtag did someone say prizes right here in the comments, or share this video. That'll get you an extra entry. And when I'm done uploading this video to YouTube, I will I'll randomly choose a winner. So if you would like me to mail you whatever it is, hi Cameron, hi Julie, there you go Deanna, Deanna's entered. Share this video to your timeline or to a group or anything like that, and you'll get an extra entry. and I will mail you whatever this ends up being today. Because there's a couple different places we could go with it. All right, so that's our second color. Now we have E13. Happy? Just happy. Yeah, happy Monday. I love how this E13 blends with next to that E25. I think it's such a gorgeous skin tone. I think especially for a fall fairy, having this nice pretty golden skin tone is, there you go, Julie. Aw, thanks, Deanna. Hi, Dotsy. Hugs, girl. I'm so glad I got to see you a little while ago at the show. I have pictures of all the times I get to see Dotsy at the shows. They're all on my cell phone. She comes down to the booth and shops. Although it's kind of hard for her to shop because she kind of has everything. Huh, Dotsy. You have to be a little patient with yourself when you're coloring these darker skin tones because those highlights look really, really, really bright. I love it. One day, like in like 10 years, Dotsy, I'm going to post like a montage of all of our photos together. It'll be all the different ones we've taken together. And we'll laugh and laugh because we'll still look the exact same age. It is scary, right? Hi, Holly. It's scary because it's just not what you're used to. And also this paper is so light colored that when you start with dark colors as like your first thing, it's a little bit shocking to the eye that you're like, ooh, wow, that's really, really dark. When you get to coloring and, you know, you put in her hair and all of that kind of stuff, it lightens up her skin so much. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Hi, Jen. Oops, that's the wrong end. And then I like to add E21 to the highlights just because it's a little bit pink. So it adds some more color. Look at that. Look at how gorgeous she is. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, it's not scary, Dotsy. We're going to look the same age in the last picture as we do in the first picture. Okay, so now let's color her dress. What color would you guys like her dress? And I just realized that I did not color her back. There's two ways you can color this. You can have this part be her dress, or you can have this part be her back. Today, I feel like I want it to be her back. Yay, I love having all of you guys here coloring with me, hanging out with me. It makes me so happy. Deep purple. Ooh, Melissa. She's like throwing down right now. Blue. Teal for the dress. Teal for the dress. So we have 2 votes for teal. Three votes for teal. Sandy's coloring baby dragons. Sandy will always vote purple. Lavender. A glittery pale green. Oh, that would be really pretty too. It sounds like most people are saying teal though, so we're gonna go with a teal. So there's that. So let's pull out our handy dandy hex chart. And I'm going to go BG78 because I love using that as a shadow. And then I'm going to go, ooh, what color of teal do we want to do? Do you want to do like a soft? I want to do like a soft teal, like a dusty teal. Ombre purple to teal. Cameron, you are hereby banned from every one of my lives from here on out. Just in case you're wondering. Where's 57? And then let's do 34. Okay, so this is going to go from like dark dusty teal to like almost a minty green color. We've already talked about this. Hi, Aunt Candy. I wasn't firing you from my life. I was just firing you from being on the lives. Cameron does have the best suggestions. Unfortunately, she throws them at me like I can color all that stuff. I'm not opposed to trying it, but she has a lot going on. This is like a very busy stamp anyways. I'm afraid we would lose some things. So oh, really? Well, you go, Sandy. Sandy Ledoux who? Are you home again? Or are you still out and about? Okay, so I'm using the shadow color to go where the artist's drawn lines are as the creases in the dress. And then I'm just adding a couple of my own because some of this big empty open space, I like to add more creases to and more pleats to. So don't feel like you have to get as intricate as I do on some of this. It's just something I like to do. Okay. I'm going to turn this around. Again, following the artist drawn lines. I'm going to start by tracing around this leaf. And then, again, don't be afraid of your shadow colors. Without darkness, there cannot be light. You got the pinball machine? You do push the boundaries, Cameron. And I am working on a rainbow bear just because I know you, and I know you're going to request a rainbow bear. Okay. So then I write the picture so that I can look at it again and see where it is the rest of the shadows need to go. So I see a shadow that needs to go here with this crease and artist drawn line. So I'm going to go ahead and shadow this in, which leads down to this one. You're going to make my ego swell, Cameron. Wait till you see what we're coloring. It must have been eating Skittles. Yes. Wait till you see what we're coloring at the sweet retreat. You're gonna lose your ever-loving mind. I know I did. I was so excited when the artwork came back, and I was like, oh my gosh. And then, of course, I instantly had to show Sandy. Okay, so now these leaves aren't necessarily gonna hide the sun. Be too cold to function. I know, I'd love to move my birthday to a warmer month. 32 days and counting, right, Julie? Cameron, there's like heaters and things. So I'm gonna shadow on the back side of the leaf. So like if the sun was coming from this direction is kind of where I have everything. So I'm not gonna shadow up here with this dark of a color. I'm gonna wait until I have like a lighter color. Again, I'm gonna go on the underside of this leaf. You've colored everything for the retreat already, Sandy? That's not shocking to me. Sandy is a color monster. Like 4 reels, legit, 100%. Like she cannot survive unless she is coloring. She gets antsy if she doesn't get to color enough. Okay, so again, you guys know, because I tell you this every time, that this shadowing process takes the longest time. And then once you finish this shadowing process, everything else comes pretty quickly. Because then it's just kind of going over what you've already done. Okay. All right. I think we're good. Except for this part. This part bugs me. I feel like it's the furthest away from the sun. So it needs a little more shadow here. There we go. Okay. So there's the darkest shadow. Truth. Okay. So now we're going to use BG75. And we're going to start the process over. And you'll see how much faster this part goes. Since I know where I'm going already, I don't have to be quite as careful. And my brain doesn't have to work as hard. Remember to curve her dress along with the shape of her body. Well, hello, Lee. Big sister Lee, what's going on? You actually have internet service or cell service. Lee is camping way out in the middle of nowhere because they like to do that. And they're in Colorado and it's cold and stuff. Weirdos. Are you giving that new camera a workout again? Finding some cool wildlife to photograph. Okay, now since I'm watching in and out of signal, but I gotta see this fairy. Hi, Leah. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn this the proper direction, and I'm gonna add a few more brush strokes here. And then see this big empty open space? I'm gonna start to shadow that in. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add, like I did up here, just a few extra creases to the dress where there kind of naturally would be creases. I don't know who's texting me right now, but I can't. Is Nona here? Hi, Nona. Follow around this leaf. Okay, just adds a little extra movement and makes it so that that big open spot isn't quite so big and open. Okay, so my next marker is BG18, and this is gonna add some of that like more teal color in. This is gonna make this a little bit brighter, not quite so washed out. A little more classic teal. Okay. And if you start running out of room for your highlights, that's okay. You don't have to do a 5 color blend like I always do. Cough, cough, cough. But I usually do 5, 7, or 9 color blends. And so I try to leave a little bit more room, but I know some people are slightly heavier handed, and so they tend to do 3 color blends. Or maybe you're a newer colorist and you're only comfortable with 3 colors, and that's totally fine. Absolutely fine. Don't worry about it. Just color with wherever you are comfortable with. Coloring is supposed to be fun and not stressful. So don't stress yourself out coloring this stuff. Look at how pretty. Oh my gosh, Leah, you crack me up. So I'm going to add some BG57 here. This is Jasper. And this, again, is a more proper teal color. Just to add some more highlight and bright to this without going over the top and making it like in your face, because she is an autumn fairy. I have you using some 5 color blends, Leah. It's not all bad. I can spot it like a mile away though. Sandy and I both, we can tell the difference in people who are using 3, 5, 7, or 9 color blends. It's just, it gives you a very different outcome, a very different look. And it's not a bad thing. I mean, sometimes 3 color blends are where it's at. Don't get me wrong. Like, sometimes that's how it's got to be. Me and my tiny little images. Hey, I made a bear that's huge. Just for you. Okay, maybe not just for you, but... And then adding this green on top. Oh, look at that. Look at how gorgeous that is. Such an awesome color blend. There we go. So there's her dress. I know, so right? 9 would be impossible. I'll have to show you Dotsie when I do 9 color blends because to me they're fun. Yeah. I love it in teal too. So what color hair should we do? Let's talk hair color. And while we talk hair color, I'm going to pull out a couple of markers for my, Sandy, don't look because I'm going to use E81 for my acorns. Yeah, that's what they're called. So, hair color. What do you guys want to see? This is why I like doing live with lots of people, because then you guys get to choose. It's like a choose your own adventure. Auburn. Auburn. Purple. Auburn. I know Lee'll say pink, because she always says, oh, pink hair. Let's do pink. Everybody pink. Strawberry blonde. See, I knew Lee was going to say it. Right, Holly? You're about to put purple in your hair. Marianne Samuelson's putting purple in her hair right now. She's going purple again. I think Sandy wants to go purple again, too. And she was trying to get me to go teal. My husband hates colors. Hi, Melanie. Yes, take a nap, love. Thank you for popping on, sweetheart. I appreciate it. Melanie is one of the kindest people I have ever met. Such a giving and thoughtful kind person. And a nurse too. She works her butt off. Now I'm going to take my E81 and just put a line in the caps of these for a highlight. Okay. You did add purple? Haha. Silver hair. Oh my God. I would love color, but it would take forever to get my hair light. It would, Cameron. It really would. Yes. Okay, so I think I have a lot of auburn, people asking for auburn. So that seemed to be the most prevalent for me. Man, you guys are testing me. Okay, this might end up being a 7 color hair blend. We'll see. Okay. I'm up to the task. I don't know, y'all think so. E39. Okay, so I'm going to start picking apart this hair piece by piece. So I know that coming from the part of her hair, it would be the darkest. I think I want this darker. So we're going to switch that to E29. And I can do the brush strokes both towards my body and away from my body. So just do whatever is comfortable for you. If you have to rotate the paper and do them all towards your body or all away from your body or whatever, that's up to you. Some days I do thinner brush strokes than others. I guess it depends on my caffeination level. Although my doctor put me on all decaf, so I only drink decaf now. Hello, Rebecca. You don't have that many Cobics. Mama Sherry, you have a lot of Cobics. Sandy, no, because I want to go a little bit darker with this auburn, so it's not going to be the usual auburn hair color that we like to use. I don't think. I'm not going to start off as dark, and I'm not going to go all the way through that reddish spectrum. Okay, now I'm going to do this side of her head. Oh my word, I looked away for a bit, and then when I looked back, I had to go to decaf too, and it took me a year to stop craving coffee. I still drink coffee. I mean, I just drink decaf coffee, and so far I've been absolutely fine. It's been a few months since my doctor switched me over, and so far, so good. I went pretty much cold turkey off caffeine and no headaches or anything terrible like that, so that's good. I think coffee's come a long way as far as brewing and all of that stuff, so ain't no shame in the decaf game. Okay, I'm gonna turn this around. And I also feel like with decaf, I get to drink more. There's still a tiny bit of caffeine in decaf, but I feel like with decaf, I get to drink more. I can sit there and drink 4 or 5 cups of coffee. Never mind that it's a diuretic. Whatever. We're not playing that game. Just let me drink my magical bean water. And don't be mean. Okay, so there's that. I didn't struggle. It was one of the few things that I did not struggle with, but it's all good. Okay, E18. This is where the auburn starts to come in. because this is definitely a red marker. And you'll notice as I start going through all the subsequent markers in my blend here, I start coloring much faster. And the reason I do that is because otherwise my brain tries to create a pattern. And I don't want to create like a perfect pattern. So I try to color faster so that I'm not creating a perfect pattern in her strands of hair. And I'm coloring right over the top of her wing. I cannot explain to you guys how windy it is here today. It is crazy windy here today. All night last night, it was really windy. And then all day today, it's been super duper windy. Now I'm just coloring over this leaf in her hair because I'm going to make it a super dark leaf. So I'm not super worried about it. If you want to color around that leaf, go for it. Ooh, look at how pretty that hair color is. I love that tip about coloring faster, so you don't, I'm really gonna have to try that. Yeah, it works out. It just, for some reason, it just works out. So once I get that first layer in there, that shadow layer in there, I just start coloring faster. I do my brush strokes faster. Now, this is kind of a base layer. This color isn't going to be like the end color. Notice how very, very different it is. But when you color auburn hair colors, they're so multifaceted and they catch the light in so many different ways that I like to make sure that I have lots of different colors in there so that you catch those oranges and those reds and those yellows and all the fun different colors of auburn. So you'll notice my next color is YR18. It's very orangey. It's a very different color than that E99 that I just put down. But putting down the E99 before this YR18 makes this YR18 not quite so like Ronald McDonald orange. And so it lends itself more to being that auburn hair color than Ronald McDonald. So you can watch that hair color develop. Right? Love ya. See you later, Lee. Now this is going to start adding in some of those yellows. And be careful not to oversaturate because you don't want to lose all of this texture that you're creating in her hair. And then in my highlights, I'm going to use YR21. And then just to add a little bit more of that crazy fall vibe, we're going to go with Y11. There we go. All right. So how was that? That was a 7-color hair blend. All right. So I'm going to pull out some light browns so that we can color the acorns. I'm going to use E55. come up from the bottom. I might actually even go a shade darker than this. I think I will. I think I need something just slightly darker. Let's try E35. Yeah, there we go. I know, right, Sandy? You would think that, okay, so there's 358 markers in the Copic family. And you would think that, oh my gosh, that's a ton of markers. But when you really start getting down to it, it's really not that many markers. And, oh, I'm sorry, Jen. Feel better, hun. It's really not that many markers. And you find yourself creating the same color blends like over and over and over. And you find yourself relying on those same color blends. And so this one's E53. You get kind of in a rut. So then you go, okay, I'm going to change it up and I'm going to start using this color blend instead. And it feels all of a sudden quite limited. So just FYI, all these crazy Copic markers, it's really still not enough. We need more. And you'll find that there are people out there that you just randomly choose the same color blends as. And people who color really similar to you, or at least use the same color blends, but color in a very different type of way. And so Sandy and I, we color in a very similar style with very different colors. And I find it really cool. And Sandy and I are always kind of marveling over how differently we choose colors, but then how similarly our projects come out. You can't figure out what you have until you have them all. I strongly encourage all the things. Don't you have full set syndrome, Rebecca? I have full set syndrome, so everybody else has to have full set syndrome, yeah? So when I start coloring these leaves, I really like to recycle my colors. So the same color blend that I used for the acorns, I'm using for a couple of these oak leaves. I am originally from Northern California, and we had the most beautiful oak trees, I think, in the whole world. Old growth oak trees, crazy big, huge oak tree. I actually have one, Texas, and the two of us. I actually have an oak tree tattooed up my side. The one that grew in my yard growing up that Lena and I used to climb as kids. And so I'm really partial to oak trees. Part of how this oak fairy came about. Cheap and frugal. Ain't nothing wrong with that, girl. Waste not, want not. There's lots of ways you can make your Copic collection feel like the full collection when you don't have the full collection. Tip-to-tip blending is one of them. Saturation levels is another. All kinds of stuff. So I'm going to color a third one of this color up here. And then we're going to start filling in with some other colors. I think I only have 2 people entered to win this card or this project. So if you want to enter to win, just hashtag did someone say prizes. If you want a second entry, then share this video onto your timeline. Who's all coming to the sweet retreat? You do not want to miss that party. OMG, it's gonna be a best party ever. Rebecca's donating a prize. Surebonder has donated a prize. Tim and Mario donated a prize. Who else do we have? There's a lot of prizes. I can't even think. There's too many prizes. I'm going to go back to my 80s. I'm going to use E87. Tyler and Cameron are coming. I'm so sorry, Deanna. I want you to come too. I miss you. And you're a busy girl. We haven't gotten to talk lately. And then E84. And then E81. Repeat. Aw. Rebecca. Gasp. Come hang out with us. Come sit at our table. We'll get you addicted. Yes, you guys hear Archie in the background. Hi, Arch. What are you doing? He's stretching. He's behind me doing downward dog. Do you want out, baby? Do you want out? You want to go get daddy? Hold on 1 second while I let Archie out. Okay. I want an explosion of color too, so I'm going to come in. So these are some of the colors from her hair. So I'm going to use YR24. And this orange will complement that teal really well. YR21. And Y11. I want her dress to be the star of the show, and so that's why I am trying to make all the leaves a little more muted. Yeah, it's very rare to have a day that I don't color. And it's even more rare to have a day that Sandy doesn't color. We are just crazy color people like that. Okay, now I'm gonna grab a couple of greens because I love having a little bit of green in this. I'm gonna start with this one and this one and this one. Archie's back. And this one. I guess I just color the rest of them green. Huh, Archie? Oh, and I forgot this one up here. Did I forget any other ones? I guess I'll find out. Yeah, but see, I want to save some of that for the card itself. You'll see what I got up my sleeve. Don't you worry your pretty little heads. And then I'm going to use G20. I said I was going to make this a dark leaf, and then I ended up making it a light leaf. But that's okay. I can use this light color just like a colorless blender and push all of that darker hair color out. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add to her eyes. I'm going to grab this and add a pupil. It's not wanting to work. There we go. I'm going to add some eyelashes. Because she would have fabulous eyelashes, wouldn't she? I think she would. Lunch is here, I gotta go. Yay, lunch. There you go, Dotsie. Did someone say prizes? If you want to enter to win this, just hashtag did someone say prizes, and I will choose a winner when we're done. Okay, now with her wings, since everybody wanted something purple, we're gonna go with like a really light, pale, soft purple. And then we're going to add some glitter. So this is my Jelly Roll glitter pin. Did someone say prizes like that? Nope, all one word, Sherry. Did someone say prizes? And no exclamation point, or no question mark. Just, did someone say prizes? Hashtag, did someone say prizes? All one word. I know it's against your grammar to run all the words together and not put punctuation, but but that's how hashtag works. And the reason that I am touching this after adding the glitter is so that there's not perfect lines. Look at all that glittery sparkle. Yay! Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put all of these markers aside. And I'm gonna zoom out And we're gonna, woo, I'm gonna earthquake you guys. And we're gonna make a card. So I have a 5.5 by 5.5 card base that I have already cut and scored. You haven't missed the prizes yet, Rebecca. All you do is hashtag did someone say prizes. And after this is over, I will pick a winner. I'll randomly choose a winner. And if you share this on your personal timeline or into any groups, you will get an extra entry. So I'm going to grab the die for this, and I'm going to walk over here to my die cutting machine, and we're going to cut her out. I'm like really picky about lining up my dies. So there we go. And so I'm going to show you a way to, okay, so a lot of people ask me about layering up their cards. There's layers and layers and layers and layers. But then some people say, I don't want to do that. I don't want to layer everything. I want it all like just on my card front. So I'm going to show you some things that you can do just using your card front. So first of all, I got a bunch of my bunny blending brushes, my cottontail blending brushes, and I have my Earth Mandala stencil. I'm going to spray a little bit of pixie spray on it. And I'm going to start by putting the Earth Mandala stencil down. Now, I take this, I flip it over, and I use my espresso to get that to adhere. And then, so everything doesn't slide around on me while I'm trying to make this, I use some of my frog tape, and the frog tape is on the list, and I tape the stencil to my desk mat. Frog tape is awesome. Frog tape is what purple tape used to be, but then they changed the formula of the purple tape and it stinks now. So it doesn't adhere to anything. What is that teal thing? Rebecca, that is an espresso, and it's a coffee cup, and it's a stamper helper. I love this stencil too, Dotsy. I'm glad you love it. Okay, so now you guys were talking about some brighter colors in your leaves. So I do have more browns, of course. So this one is Gathered Twigs, and I'm going to grab my brush that is Gathered Twigs. And I'm like mean to my stencils. I do lots of stuff with them, so they're all in poor poor condition because I do so much stuff with them. This one is old paper. Check them out in my store, Rebecca. They're also on the list. They are very, very, very helpful and cool. Okay, and then I have fossilized amber. And I usually always grab a tissue to hold my paper down with and hold my stencil down with so that I don't leave fingerprints. Ooh, look at that's pretty. And then, of course, as you guys would guess, I have ground espresso. Okay, now what I want to do is grab my squirt bottle and tell me what the deal is about prizes. I'm seeing a lot of chatter about some hashtag thing. Sandy, can you explain the prizes to Holly, please? Okay. And then I take my tissue that I used. Okay. I'm going to pull up my tape. Ah, look at that. Isn't that awesome? I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, so now I have my honey bowl and it's full of fun little things that we can use to add to this project. So I'm going to start by grabbing my fairy. And I think what I want to do is put this burlap behind her. Ooh, where are my, let's use these. Okay, and then, oh man, I was gonna put a piece of cardboard behind her too. Hold on one second, let me find my cardboard. If I have a piece handy. I should. I usually always do. Of course, today's the day I don't. Zero cardboard. Zero. Probably because today's recycle day, so it's all gone. So we're going to improvise. We're going to use a book page instead. Okay, so I just take a book page and I rip it. And then I crumple it up. And then I take my brushes and I crumple it in a different way. Great way to clean your brushes too. Okay, so now you have this cool piece. So we're gonna put that there. We're gonna put her on top of it. See how that pops her forward some. And then I have this pretty lace. And I have my piece of burlap. So we're just going to start adhering layers, okay? So I think I'm going to glue the burlap down first. And I'm not going to care much. There's no real rhyme or reason to the way that I'm gluing it, because I'm going to glue so much other stuff on top of it that it's not really going to matter that much. And then I'll go like that, and I'll use my espresso. Okay, then I'm going to grab my lace. And again, I'm just going to glue down here. This is part of the most awesome thing of the Barely Art glue, is that it totally dries clear, so you don't have to worry about it at all. And I can trim this later. Okay, now what I like to do with the paper is I just put a bunch of glue on the back. And I kind of crumple it when I glue it so that it's not glued down like perfectly. All in one, that's right, Holly. All in one. I'm that kind of girl. Okay, then I'll take my fairy and I'll grab some Sweet Pops. I like to put the Sweet Pops around the parts that stick out first, so that I know how many I need to put on like the inside portion. And some of them I will cut down so they fit like in her wings. And I use a ton of these guys. Like an actual ton. Okay. Sandy, did you DM Holly about the prize? Did someone say prizes? Okay, so there's that. Then I have these really cool wooden leaves and these really cool soft leaves. And so I'm just going to start adding these. I've heated up my glue gun. So this is what I was talking about when I was like, don't worry, you'll get the color. Because I knew There's a really pretty yellow one over here. Aw, thanks. I know, right? It's getting super serious with the whole glue gun thing going on. I love this glue gun. This is the Lynn Lily glue gun by Surebonder. We have one of these to give away at the Sweet Retreat. So cool. Like, literally the best glue gun I have ever owned. Ever. In the history of ever. It is awesome. Nope, don't like that. Yep, maybe that one. I usually always have my glue gun going beside my desk because I use it to glue on so many flowers. Yeah. Well, it's kind of cordless in that there's, let me unplug it so you can see. There's like a little base that plugs in. And so when you put your glue gun on here, it warms it up. I will add this to the list so that you guys know which glue gun that I have. Okay, so then now that all this is glued on, we're gonna trim this down some. And I'll grab my handy dandy tweezers. And we'll trim this side down. And my handy dandy tweezers. There's that. And then I'm gonna grab my stickles because I can't do anything without a whole bunch of glitter. Yeah, it does have a very small glue tip. It is Lynn Lily by Surebonder. And it heats up so fast. Like literally 20-30 seconds and you have liquid glue. Okay, friends, I think we're done. I mean, I could probably keep going and add a whole bunch more stuff to this card, but, or just come to the retreat and you too could own. They sent like a whole gift pack. It has glue sticks and everything with it. They like, and different color, like glittery glue sticks and all kinds of stuff. I'm like, dang, do I have to give this away? So there we go. There's our card. And then I will stamp it. And I will sign it. And it will get mailed to one of you lucky people watching the live today. How much fun was that? Yay! Thanks, Julie. Thanks, Sherry. So, again, if you want to win this card, hashtag did someone say prizes? And you may be able to win this. Also, if you share this live, thanks, Dotsy, then you have a chance, an extra chance of winning. And I I will draw a winner as soon as I get this video uploaded to YouTube. So again, thank you guys for joining me, and I will see you all again tomorrow at noon. So toodles!